Most people roll into the Seder and they know this part. So then what's the point? We have to delve deeper to understand what's really going on. Every moment has a theme and every nuance matters. And when you go through it, you come out a different person. So that's what we're going to explore together. The themes, the lessons, the reasons, the purpose. Because that's what this is really all about. The first line is Arami Ovid Avi. The Arami, Lavan, worked my father. Vayered Mitzrayim, and we went down to Mitzrayim. Vayiger Sham, and we lived there with a small people. Vayisham Lagoy Gadol Atzum Varav. Okay, let's set this up. First line is, got lots of pieces. Piece number one is Arami Ovid Avi. What does this mean? And the Haggadah says, Tzei Ulmad, let's come learn. Ma Bikesh Lavan Harami Lasos La Yaakov Avinu. Let's learn what Lavan wanted to do to Yaakov. Sheparo, we get down to Mitzrayim. Paro wanted to kill the boys. Remember, he threw them into the Nile. But Lavan bikesh la'akar asako. So let's begin with something. The beginning of the story starts with Galus. You have to understand something, that exile is part of our story. I remember reading a long time ago a book from Aryeh Kaplan who spoke about how, if you were God, I think the book is called If You Were God. And he speaks about how Hashem is, so to speak, stuck. Because he wants the world to know him. But how do you do that? If you reveal yourself too much, then people don't have a choice. That's not really knowing him. That's being forced. And if you don't reveal yourself at all, then no one will ever know you. He's spiritual. It's not physically intuitive. So I think if I remember correctly, Aryeh Kaplan's point was that what Hashem does is something brilliant. Obviously, he wanted to do it first at the base of Maggid. Okay, what we're doing now is he takes a people, he creates a very close relationship with them, and they live a very miraculous life. If you look closely at the Jewish people, it's miraculous. With very specific rules and laws and relationships, and our lives are meant to reveal Hashem in the world. Remember, that's what we've been talking about. Kiddush, right? Everything we're talking about is the ability to uplift the material. Well, the goal is for us to uplift the material. And so he sprinkles us throughout the world so that people look like us. And we did this before. See us, we don't see us, right? We did this earlier on, this theme. But exile is part of the deal. So the story will always begin until the end of days in exile. But the exile is usually one or the other. It's Arami Ovid Avi, it's Lavan, it's a world where they hug us and kiss us and we work together and they give us our children, and we're good. It's an environment of where we're being embraced by the host nations, or Vayered Mitzrayim, or we're being oppressed. But remember, the narrative begins with the first sentence, Arami Ovid Avi, Vayered Mitzrayim, we're in Galus. That's where we start. Either oppressive Galus or beloved Galus. No matter what, it's exile. And right away teaches us. You think it's better when they love you. Okay, guess what? When they're oppressing you, they're only taking part of you. When they love you, they're trying to destroy you. Now, it's not conscious necessarily. It may be, but it's not. But it may be, but that's not the point. The Medrash Tanchuma says, what does it mean, bikesh la'akaras hakol? You know what it means? Because Lavan tried to get Yaakov to marry only Leah. Remember, Rachel came later. And if he married only Leah, Yosef wouldn't have been born. And if Yosef wouldn't have been born, he wouldn't have been the king of Egypt. And the Jews would have been wiped out when he went to Egypt. Cool concept. But the Sfas Emes, I think, has an incredible point for us. He says, Lavan rotze livalea es hakol b'soch ha'aravos. He wanted to swallow us up through mixing. He wanted to assimilate us. Now we would lose it all. We think we live in a world in which these moments of great gullus is better for us, but if you look at our population, it's not. So I did a little bit of calculations. It's a beautiful world in which computers can do math for you. Just give you a sense of Jewish growth. You know, we look at the time of, Eastern Europe in the late 80s, early 90s. Like if you grew up in the way I grew up, like pogroms, persecutions, right? Anti-Semitism. Like what's anti-Semitism? Shtetl, ghettos, right? Like horses and Cossacks, and right? Jewish people in 1985 had 7.5 million people. In 1939, before the Holocaust, had 17 million people. In all that anti-Semitism, during the times of quote-unquote Mitzrayim, our growth rate was 1.48%. 1.5% growth rate. Persecution, we exploded. The Holocaust came, 6 million. Even with the Holocaust, which is the worst ever crime against the Jews in modern era, from 1885 until post-Holocaust, our growth rate was 0.64%. 1960s, everything, Baruch Hashem, started to change. We had Israel, post the first two wars, America, the world opened up, suburbia, success, post-Holocaust. For that next 60 years, in comparison, we went from 12 million to about 14.8 million. So just to give you a sense, from 1885, which is the beginning of Eastern Europe, pogroms, Holocaust, we grew 0.64%. From 1960 to 2020, when everything was chill, we grew 0.35%. We grew in half when we lived in Arami Oved Avi. Half. To understand that, if we would have had a normal growth rate as a people, normal, which is about 1.5%, we would have double the amount of Jews. Double. Where'd everybody go? Sometimes the love and peace, the assimilation, the low birth rates, the trying to fit in, does worse for us sometimes than the anti-Semitism. This opens up and says, pay attention, everybody, relax. Stop running for the hills. You're the Jewish people. This is Galus. Arami Ovid Avi, Lavan, or Yer Mitzrayim. And you think Mitzrayim is harder. It is harder physically, but spiritually you lose always the first way. Lavan bikish la karas hakol. You could be sitting in the land of luxury for 60 years and grow half than you grew in Europe with the pogroms and with the Nazis. How? Welcome to Galus. But you begin the story with the world of us getting it, digesting where we are. And then the pasuk continues. Vayigar Sham, we came down in 70. 70 people. Just to give you a sense, thank you to the machines. Just to give you a sense, we came in at 70 people. We left 210 years later with 2 million people. Right? That's a 7% growth rate. That's explosive. Mitzrayim, the worst anti-Semitic time, exploded. Why? So the pasuk says, Vayer Mitzrayim, we were forced into Mitzrayim. It's Galus. But with small people, 70 people, V'yisham l'goy gadol. But Hashem says, don't worry. It looks like it's hard. I'm exploding you. 7% growth rate. An average is 1.5. Ours is 0.6, 0.3. Explosion. V'yisham l'goy gadol. Not only were you big, but you were gadol, you were atzum, you exploded, you were mitzuyanim, you were successful, you sprouted. Hashem says, remember something. And this is the first step of the narrative. There's two galuses. This assimilation one does a lot worse. The physical one's a lot harder. But remember, in both cases, I'm with you. I'm sending you, but I'm exploding you. I'm sending you out to the world where wherever I send you, you're going to be successful. You're going to make it. You're going to grow. Look at the Jewish history. Just look back at Jewish history and find a billion proofs of how we were sent to this place and that place and this place and that place. And against all odds, we grew and built hospitals and this and that, Nobel Prize. Look at how we've done. Yeshivas, everything that we've done in the middle of Galus. Why? Because Hashem said so. It's not a modern day thing. Everyone's like so impressed that Eretz Yisrael has got Silicon Wadi, they call it. Really? It's not a bunch of brilliant tech kids sitting behind screens. It's Hashem. Hashem said, I'm going to put you. There'll be wars, but you'll succeed. You're all into America after 2 generations. For your grandparents are Holocaust survivors. And look at the Orthodox community after 2 generations. Explosive. How? Hashem said. Yeah, we worked. Hashem said. Step one of this narrative is, remember, this is the game. This is the game. Galus. Don't be thrown. Don't be drunk. Each one has its pros and its cons, but be aware of its cons. But remember something. When I put you in Galus, Hashem says, I grow you. I got you. I take care of you. Do not assume your success is because of you. It's part of the deal. I'll put you out there, but I'm with you along the way. So we begin this first piece, understanding step one. Galus and success in Galus. Thank you so much for tuning in and joining us for this series. I hope that you enjoyed, and I hope that it enhances your Seder and brings you closer to Hashem. We have some cliff notes for you in case you want a Seder companion. You can download it. Check out the series and the downloadable stuff at pesach.us, pesach.us, and hope you have a great holiday, and may we see the full redemption soon.